Casting from the Wild and Scenic Film Fest Media Lounge. And big shout out to Nevada City Winery for hosting the Media Lounge and two of our receptions this year. You know, this film festival is, it's a convergence where all these incredible people come who are everyday action heroes and activists, and also some of the most incredible adventurers who are pushing the limit. Our theme this year is At the Edge. And so these two, Greg Long and Hilaree O'Neil, you guys are limit pushers for sure. And the film is called Dream Day. I think, was it sponsored, promoted by Cliff Bar, created by Cliff Bar?
Yes, it was.
Right? Well, first of all, welcome guys to Wild and Scenic. Have you guys been here before?
No, this is my first year here.
Really?
Yep.
Same. My first year.
Same for you. And so you live in Telluride.
Yes.
And you're in San Clemente.
Correct.
Nice. Okay, so this film, if you imagined taking like skiing, rock climbing, surfing, mountain biking, what was it, all in a day? Did you guys do all that all in one day?
We did.
Okay,
That was
tell us about it a little bit.
the idea was looking at just how many diverse activities, and fun you can actually have in the state of California, and it was conceptualized by Cliff Bar to get a bunch of us together and to see how much we could actually pack into one day. So I, obviously being a surfer, was the one kind of guiding the crew through our coastal adventure. But we had Matt Hunter, mountain biker from Canada, who came down. Jeremy Jones, one of the world's most elite snowboarders, and Hilaree, who took us climbing up a wall. So that was the idea. We started right here up at Donner Pass, right?
It's sunrise. It was dark when you guys started.
Yeah, we started in the dark so we could get sunrise at the top of what we were going to ski down. And we had pretty stellar timing. We got up there right at sunrise, and it was a gorgeous day. I mean, we kind of just had one day to do it, so it was rain or shine.
You were going to make it happen.
We were going to make it happen.
Good conditions. Okay, so
we had amazing conditions.
You did, and so you went from the Sierras to Stinson Beach, I think is where you guys ended up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like part of the triangle.
Right.
The Great White Triangle. That's like, seriously, that when we hear about great white attacks, they're often at Stinson Beach.
Don't tell me that.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I know that now. It's good I know it after the fact.
Yeah, you didn't want to know that before you jumped in.
Yeah.
So the cool thing, too, is that you guys, you're all athletes in your own right in what you do. But tell me about that experience for, like, Greg. Like, that was hardcore terrain that you guys were snowboarding and skiing down, for example.
That was the funnest part for me, where my life is immersed in the ocean. Put me in there, I'm in my element. Bring me out, up into the mountains. I snowboarded a handful of times, but it was all really new territory for me last year, and especially I hadn't ever been climbing before. And then on a mountain bike, my time on a bike is with bike racks, riding down to the beach. So it was a ton of fun for me, and to be pushed.
At all? Yeah.
Oh, I was all over the place.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't you watch the film?
I was thinking
tumbling down the mountain.
I was thinking the mountain biking. I totally saw you tumbling down.
Yeah,
doing
the
snowboarding. You were snowboarding,
split board.
weren't you?
Put me downhill. It was like, have you ever seen Bambi on Ice?
Yeah,
that was you. That was all over the place.
I was thinking the mountain biking too, because you guys were really rocking it, and that's it takes skill.
That was the funnest part. Just being so out of your element and learning from the best in the world in their respective sports, and having them, right there to kind of coach you along. So by the end of the day of each one, I felt like I had significantly improved, or at least just had a experience that I'll never forget. One of the funnest days of my life.
That's cool. And how about for you, Hilaree? What was the biggest stretch for you? Was it the surfing?
Oh yeah, the surfing was the biggest stretch for me. Like, I knew enough just to like get myself in trouble and basically just get hammered by waves.
Hammered over
just
and
hammered.
Over. But I think you got up. Didn't you get up?
I got up a couple times. I mean, I've surfed, kind of the same as he is with skiing. I've surfed here and there a little bit, but we didn't have a choice. We weren't going out on like a perfectly, glassy.
It wasn't like
surf
you're in Hawaii
day.
when they're like long waves.
It was like tricky, and the current was pretty strong.
It
was cold, but
yeah.
That was the best part about it, was that we were really just having fun, and every single one of us was trying a sport that we really weren't familiar with at all. And I mean, it's kind of it's like pushing your boundaries and
Totally.
sucking at something is pretty fun.
And how do you think for this film Dream Day, how do you want this to relate to like just everyday people and our everyday lives and how we move and show up in the world?
I think that one of the biggest things that keeps us from moving forward in life is, the fear of, looking foolish, trying something new, that we become so comfortable in our ways and in our routines that we seldom, step and break out of that. And that was, the, ultimate as far as an athlete goes, that, we are, going beyond everybody's kind of familiar territory. And really, in the end, it doesn't matter if you are the best in the world or you're doing it for the first time, that it is all about having fun. I think you see it on our faces throughout that whole film. Everybody's just laughing and enjoying it for what it is. And, to be humbled and be, a complete beginner at something is one of the most amazing things in the world. But, we often shy away from that because we don't want people to, laugh at us or...
Our ego gets in the way.
Absolutely.
You got to check the ego out.
In the end, for me, it was simple as that. Step out of your comfort zone and don't take things so seriously all the time. That it's okay to, make a fool of yourself and, laugh at yourself. That's makes, getting through life a hell of a lot easier if you're serious all the time.
Yeah, so true. What about for you, Hilaree?
I mean, I think the premise behind making that film was just to get people excited about what is in their backyard. We weren't trying to do anything extreme, and I think a lot of us in this particular short have been filmed doing all these crazy things and things that we're really good at. And like Greg said, it was really fun to sort of take off that persona and just be real people. And it was about the camaraderie between the four of us and just going out and having fun as friends and teaching as well as learning. And it was all local and tangible and right there. It wasn't anything too exotic. And I think that's what I really took away from it.
Yeah.
Is it's all right there. It's all in your backyard.
And being immersed in that natural world.
And the people you're with. Like,
totally. Well, and I should mention the people that you guys are, you guys are like world acclaimed at what you do. Like as far as,
right, but you get so comfortable in that spot that I rarely put myself out there as, doing something that I'm not an expert at. Yeah. And so it was really refreshing in that regard. And watching him be an expert at something and basically feeling like I was going to drown. But it was fun.
That's cool.
And at the end of the day, it wasn't about, finding that perfect powder line or, the best wave in the world or climbing, the craziest wall. It was, simply looking at what you have, in your backyard. And for us, being so, blessed to live in California, we've got, incredible amount of diversity of, outdoor activities that we can participate in. And just going out there and trying something new and different and having fun at it. Simple as that.
That's cool. What is the wildest thing? Because we're at Wild and Scenic. What is one of the wildest moments you've experienced? And I know you guys probably experienced a lot of them. But what, just off the top of your head?
I did this expedition once to a place called the Isle of South Georgia, and it was to climb alpine peaks and ski them. And we were traveling there on a boat, and you'd get off the boat and you'd have to work your way through 100,000 seals. I'm sorry, 100,000 penguins and like 10,000 elephant seals. Like this whole beach was just like the most wildlife I've ever seen in my life. And to incorporate that into climbing and skiing and having to walk through that was probably the wildest thing I've ever seen.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. How about for you, Greg?
You obviously had some pretty wild adventures and chasing the big waves around the world.
Do you do Mavericks? Do you do
I've surfed Mavericks and all the others. But
have you ever just dropped out and you can't really do that in when you're surfing Mavericks, can you?
Yeah, you can. That is the one thing I really love about the sport of surfing. When you fall, it's the water. And there's a little, grace period in time, and if other sports that I see,
so big,
there's no mistakes. Where we can actually make mistakes, then it's just a matter of being able to hold your breath and kind of endure the physical side that goes along with that. A lot of cartwheels and uncomfortable.
Okay.
But the most, I guess, adventurous and far-fetched trip I've ever been on was actually to the east coast of Madagascar. That did a month-long exploration trip by boat, not looking for big waves, just perfect waves, and then a month actually hiking, and found one perfect wave in the middle of nowhere and camped out there, but completely removed, and there's a big river mouth with crocodiles kind of hanging in the lagoon, and allegedly sharks frequent, moving in and out, the Zambezi shark. So that for me was one that was far removed from any help, any sort of modern sort of comfort at all.
I love watching Hilaree's expressions, by the way, as you're sharing all this. What do you want to say to everybody about why it's so important to get out there and just push yourself? Like, our theme this year is At the Edge, and I would ask you that around being at the edge, but I think this whole film is around being at the edge. But what would you want to say to everyone about why it's so important to push ourselves, to take that leap sometimes off the edge, to discover what's possible?
I think you don't give yourself an opportunity to get to know yourself if you don't push out of your own boundaries. It's impossible to sort of, for me, get to know the person that you're looking at every day in the mirror if you don't push beyond some perceived limit. And for me, I've found that connection and that boundary where I can push myself is the outdoors. And I feel like that works for a lot of people, just because without being out in the outdoors, then you don't form that connection, and that's a really powerful connection that I think everybody needs to have, and we're losing that a little bit. So I guess that would be my 2 cents.
First, being outdoors for me, that is a place where I just feel real connected, to the beauty of this world, to myself, and to kind of check out from the busy everyday sort of stuff that we all consume as a lot of our lives. And then as far as pushing ourselves, I feel like that's one of our fundamental purposes here, in this life, in this world, whatever we do in our respective lives, to explore the boundary of possibility. That again, we become comfortable and feel like we know, we're just within that safe place, but that's where life really becomes fun and exciting, is moving beyond that. And as Hilaree said, a lot of people, I don't feel like, give themselves enough credit of what they are truly capable of if they kind of have that mindset that it's limitless opportunity and potential for people to explore. It's just a matter of putting that one foot in front of the next. And that's where my love for big waves came, was the slow progression into that, and with extreme admiration for everybody who's a part of this film fest, and the athletes, and that's it.
That's cool. All right, check out the film. When is it screening?
It is screening this evening at...
Do you know where it's screening at? We'll have to look it up. 7:30?
Yeah, 7:30. The
Miners Foundry.
Yes.
Dream Day. Yes. Dream Day. I almost was like, which film? Dream Day. Make your dreams come true, but to make your dreams come true, you're going to have to get on the edge and take that leap. It's part of that, making that happen. Yes. Thanks so much, Greg and Hilaree. It was
Thank
awesome. You
us.
guys rock it, and thanks for being here and everything you're doing.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being here. You guys want to get a picture? Sure. It's okay. You can leave it. I think they've just been leaving it on.